Hi, this is Leigh Ambergy. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mentor, Ohio, and thank you for joining me for today's video. In today's video, I will be using the Flowing Flowers stamp set. It is in the mini catalog, and what we're going to make is basically a kind of a one-sheet wonder. And if you're not familiar with that, it's where you take your 8.5 by 11 cardstock and you use your stamps and you stamp all over the cardstock, and then you cut it. In most 8.5 by 11 one-sheet wonders, you cut it into various pieces, parts, sizes, where you can get 10 or 12 cards. And because this, to me, this stamp set has large images, I didn't want to cut the pieces up very small. So I kept this one sheet wonder very simple, very basic. I don't like complicated. And this is what I did. So this card, all of the, in a sense, my own designer series paper, because that's what it almost looks like, is that you're creating your own designer series paper. I kept this to 3 3/4 by 5, and each card is mounted on the colors that I used for the stamping. And the colors were Bumblebee, Flirty Flamingo, Blackberry Bliss, and Old Olive. So that's the colors I'm stamping with. And I have a top folding. I have I kept it simple. So I have two that the cardstock, when I cut to mount my card base, is the 5.5 by 8.5. And this is just a sheet of your 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So I cut this one in half, and I have these two cards, and this is another one, and these were cut at 4 1/4, scored and folded in half. So that is basically what we're going to be doing today. On these cards, I used for my greetings, and these are all greetings from the stamp set, I used the Tasteful label dies for all of these greetings. And for the cards we're making today, I am using the rectangle stitched dies and the layering circle dies. And what I want to do right now is just bring in this piece of Very Vanilla. And I was going to do this in Whisper White, except I kind of realized that these colors would look good with Very Vanilla. And I don't know why, but I have not been showing my Very Vanilla cardstock any love lately, so I kind of felt guilty. But I have somewhat started here, just for the sake of time, with stamping the one flower image. And yeah, I do have a boo-boo here, but there's no mistakes in stamping, just creative ways to do things. So I have this stamp here mounted onto my block, and I am using my sponge daubers to add the different color inks to this piece of cardstock. And you want to make sure you don't get carried away and completely cover everything up, because I have other stamps that I want to use. So I'm just using my sponge dauber, and yeah, I don't care if my colors bleed over onto another one. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just going with it. And the colors for this flower are the Bumblebee, the Old Olive, and the Rich Razzleberry. And again, just applying and just randomly stamping. And I think I'm going to just stick this one right here. Okay, so I am pretty much done with this, this flower stamp. And then now I'm going to get rid of the inks that I'm not using. So number one, don't stick my finger in them, which I usually end up doing. Or worse, stick a stamp in a color that I don't want. So now I am bringing in this stamp here. And this is almost, gives you like the distinctive type effect. I'm just going to ink this stamp up. And I'm just going to stamp. When you do something like this, you always want to try to start with your largest stamp. You want to fill up with the largest stamp and then work your way down in a sense, stamp size. So again, I'm just stamping this wherever. And the great thing about this is you can always go back if you want. I think I am going to stick one right in through here. And I'm trying not to really overlap too much if I can. And then now I'm bringing in my Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to fill in. It's a smaller stamp, and we're using this one, the little flowers right there. And I'm going to fill in some of the open areas. And you could do this several times, and it will never come out. It'll never come out the same. And that's kind of like the neat thing about it. And maybe one here. All right, now I want to go back with my first stamp, with my original stamp, with this one. And let me get those pads back open, because I want to go in and just kind of my mind is like hit and miss, what I call hit and miss stamping. So I'm going to bring my stamp back out, and I know that I want to get some areas in through here that are kind of open. And again, I am inking up with my daubers the entire stamp, even though I probably won't use the entire place on there, but I don't want to take the chance of putting my stamp down and not having any ink there. It would probably be okay with the ink that's on it. And then and I know right here I just want some leaves. So I'm just going to ink that up with my Old Olive. And again, some of this might end up being hacked off, because we're going to cut this sheet down, like I said, to 3 3/4 by 5. Yep, that one's still the green, the Old Olive. But just in case. And for me, I find it helpful to just sort of rotate my paper around and see what I want to do with it. It's just kind of a mishmash hodgepodge on here. And the fun thing is you never know what you're going to end up with. Okay, and then I think I'm going to go back and add some of the small flowers, the Flirty Flamingo. There. And kind of here looks like it has a little bit of a bare spot. Okay, so there we go. Stuck my finger in the ink pad. All right, I am going to close up the ink pads, and I'm going to cut this down. And I'm really sticking my fingers in the ink pads. But one of the good things about that is if you're wearing black leggings, you just wipe them on your pants. So what I am going to do, get some of this out of the way, is bring in my paper trimmer and get daubers, get ink stamps. So like I said, cut this to 3 3/4. And I'm gonna see, okay, 3 3/4. I think I want to keep this edge. And then each of these are going to be cut to 5. I think I want this edge. So we have 2 panels. And let's do this one, this side. Okay, so we're done with the paper trimmer. Get that out of the way. And then what I have, and you know what, you can keep these. I mean, I will throw these on my work desk here, and you could even use this, mount it and use it a strip on a card, or cut it and add strips. So don't throw these away. Let them sit, and then readdress them later and look at them. So I have cut cardstock in Bumblebee. All these are 4 by 5 1/4. The Blackberry Bliss, the Old Olive, and the Flirty Flamingo. Now the greetings, I went ahead and stamped the greetings. Whoops, I've got some of my Baker's twine we're going to be using. And for these, I pretty much kept, I forgot about Happy Dance. I should have done that one. But I did just the note, the happy birthday, thank you, and I love this, sending a card instead of a text. So these greetings, I die cut with the stitched rectangles and the layering circle dies. And like I said, these, I use the Tasteful Labels, and they fit perfect. This is great for that. So what I am going to do is, my greetings are all right here. And for this, to me, it really, I mean, you could sit and say, I just grab and mount. So basically all I'm going to do is just mount this onto my cardstock that I'm using as like a mat. So just gonna put my adhesive on the back, and I sort of like to, when I'm doing something like this, what I call as assembly line. So I'll just mount all these. I have my card bases already cut. This is the thick, very vanilla, and then I'm just gonna mount these and then put them off to the side. And then I will add my Baker's twine. And again, I'm keeping all of these cards very basic, very, very simple. I don't want anything to, you know, detract from my stamping, my pretty background that I have stamped on this sheet of Very Vanilla. So we have one more. And then what I'm going to do is make sure I know which direction I'm going in. And on this one, I think then I just figure out kind of like, where is there more of a bare spot? And then that's where I'm going to put, I like that, where I'm going to put my greeting. So I know I want this greeting for this one. And I think on this one, I don't think I'm going to use any baker's twine. I think I'm just going to just leave it exactly how it is. I have dimensionals already on the back. Just peel off the backing. Whoa. And okay, we have one down. Let's see. What do I want to use? Now this is my top folding. And kind of like this one. Yep. Now we're going to go there. So on this one, what I'm going to do is put my panels down to my card base. Then what I did is, if those of you that have been a Stampin' Up connoisseur for several years, you know, at one point we had I think it was the metallic thread, the gold, and it was, I think, a rose bronze or whatever. It was metallic, and it was very, very thin. That is since retired. But I took my baker's twine and treated it almost like embroidery floss. I pulled the strands apart, and there's 3 of them. So what I am going to do is, you know, I want my greeting right through there, is I'm going to take my strands of baker's twine that I pulled apart, and I'm just going to press it down, and then my greeting will go on top of this. And yes, you could put this on the back of here. I do a little bit better doing it this way. This, you know, this seems to work the best for me, but do whatever works good for you. And that's what it's all about. What might be, you know, a great way to do something for me might not be a great way to do something for you. So that's the beauty of this, is that you get to be creative how it works for you, not how it works for me or for someone else. You get to do your own thing. As my daughter would say, you do you, boo. So, okay, we have that one. Let's see, I've got 2 bows I already did. I did some double bows. So, I want this one to go this way. This is going to be happy birthday. Or do I want it to go this way? I think I'm going to have it go this way. Okay, there we go. So again, get the backings off of the dimensionals. I want this right through here. And like I said, I have already done, I think this one's smaller, a double bow out of my baker's twine. I'm going to get a glue dot, paper piercer. I think I'm going to put this bow in the corner. So I'm going to put my glue dot down. My bow there. My snips. Trim these edges, these tails. All right. Last one. Okay, and I know, whoa, this one, uh-oh, is my cardstock? Let me check my cardstock here. Is this one not? Yep. What did I do with this one? Oh, this one is not cut right. So let's see if we can fix that. Let's see what we did over here. Oops, 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, I bet you this was the one. Nope. Okay. Let's fix this real quick. Operator error on my part. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Didn't quite have things cut properly. That happens, but again, no mistakes in stamping, just creative ways to do things. So in this card, I know right here I had a little bit of a goober. So that's where I'm going to put my greeting, and that's going to cover that up. So we'll get the backing off of here. Just a note, and again, take my glue dot. Well, maybe if I can get it unstuck from my finger, and attach my little bow. Yeah, get my tails here and trim this off. Okay, we're all done. So that is showing you how to get your own designer series paper, and also a very quick and easy way to do a one-sheet wonder card. And give it a try. It's really neat. It's a fun way to really showcase, for me, these flowers in the stamp set. I think they're gorgeous. So that's it for today. I'm so happy you could join me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.